We'll be starting in 1 minute. If you'd like to fill out a card to speak on any item on tonight, please do so now. We'll be starting in 1 minute. All right, I'd like to call to order the Calhoun Parish School Board meeting here on Tuesday, December 10th at 5 p.m. If you all can please stand for our flag prayer and pledge by Mrs. Phyllis A.
Father, thank you for bringing us here tonight. We ask that you lead us and guide us. Show us your way. Help us to make the right decision what's best for all of Calhoun Parish. We appreciate for a new day that we've never seen before. What an adventure. Watch over those that have been some struggles, some cold weather. Watch over our schools, our buildings. Keep us warm, Father. We love you. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call, Dr. McGee.
Yes, sir. Ms. Ayo.
Present.
Mr. Baumgartner.
Here.
Mr. Broke. Here. Mr. Castillo.
Here.
Ms. Fontenot.
Here.
Ms. Gay. Mr. Hardesty.
Here.
Ms. Hardy McReynolds.
Here.
Mr. Natale.
Here.
Mr. O'Banion.
Here.
Mr. Pichon.
Here.
Mr. Roberts.
Here.
Mr. Tarver. Reverend Wallace.
Here.
Dr. Washington.
Present.
Have a forum.
All right, thank you. All right, item number 3, approval of minutes. So moved. Thank you. It was moved by Mr. Hardesty, seconded by Mr. Castillo. All in favor? Any nays? Right. Item number 4, presentations. A, B, and C are A. Item A, quarterly report by Mr. Jamie Raspberry, Lake Charles Memorial Hospital Sports Medicine Director.
Good evening. Tonight we'll be covering the quarterly report from the dates of August the 1st to October 31st. During that time frame, the fall sports, we did 100 varsity football games. We covered the Lake Area Jamboree, which most of our schools attended, held at Sulphur High School. We did 33 JV football games that our players hosted, 17 freshman football games. Our schools held 8 football scrimmages. A lot of them played each other, which really helps out. We did 68 varsity volleyball games during the fall and 29 JV and freshman volleyball games. 2 of our schools hosted volleyball tournaments and we covered those, and 2 of our schools had cross-country meets and we covered those. During that time frame, a total of 171 injury assessments were done, and of those 171, 26% needed to seek the attention of the physician. And we also put our Saturday morning football clinic during the fall for any of our athletes that may have got hurt on Friday night or Thursday night that needed immediate attention. We held that again this fall, and we just continue to visit our schools 5 times a week for our contract with y'all, and we look forward to the future with our relationship with y'all. Does anybody have any questions?
Any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Item B, Jobs for America State Ambassador, Aya Henry, Sulphur High School. Mr. Tony McCall, Director.
Good afternoon, Board. I'm thrilled to share some incredible news that highlights some of our amazing achievements of one of our students and the strength of our Jobs for America's Graduates program, often referred to as JAG. Maya Henry is a dedicated JAG school officer at Sulphur High School, and she has made history by being elected as a state JAG ambassador, which is the very first student from our parish, our district, and school to receive this remarkable honor. Amaya is an exceptional student whose dedication, leadership, and passion have set her apart. Her election to this state position speaks volumes about her abilities and the support she has received from her teachers and peers in the Jobs for America's Graduates program. As part of her role, Amaya represented our state, serving our district and school, on the national stage by attending the National Student Leadership Academy in Washington, D.C. last week. This prestigious event provided her with opportunities to collaborate with other student leaders, engage in leadership training, and advocate for the Jobs for America's Graduates program, which has had such a positive impact on her life. This achievement is not only a milestone for Amaya, but also a testament to the value of the Job for America's Graduates program in preparing our students for success beyond the secondary classroom. We're incredibly proud of Amaya and grateful for the educators, such as her teacher, Ms. Terrell Bushnell, and the mentors who have supported her along the way. Please join us in congratulating Amaya Henry on this historic accomplishment and all the best as she represents Sloper High School, Calcasieu Parish School Board, and the state of Louisiana on this national stage. And I don't think Amaya made it tonight, but we do want to congratulate her on the record, and we'll get her the student ambassador pin and yard sign after this meeting. Thank you.
All right, moving on to C, letter C. Number 4, Ms. Lasita Laverne, Regional Public Citizen of the Year, National Association of Social Workers, Louisiana Chapter. Dr. Jason Van.
So we are so privileged and proud to recognize Ms. Lasita Lottie Laverne. Tonight she was recommended, this is from Mr. Will Francis, the Executive Director of the National Association of Social Workers. So Lottie Laverne was recommended for the National Association of Social Workers Louisiana Chapter Regional Public Citizen of the Year. She was selected as the Region 5 recipient to represent Calcasieu Parish. Ms. Laverne is an employee of the Calcasieu Parish School Board system, and she works in the Federal Programs Department. She's supervised by Mr. John Spikes. Her tireless dedication to serve the underserved population, foster children, and homeless students in our district never goes unnoticed. Ms. Laverne also serves in the capacity of a foster parent for the Department of Children and Family Services. She provides impeccable care to children in need of temporary or long-term placement, and she's recently adopted a child from long-term placement after 3.5 years. Her desire to make a difference in children's lives is a motivating factor in the decision to select Ms. Letitia Laverne as the Region 5 Public Citizen of the Year. So again, we congratulate Ms. Lottie Laverne as the NASWLA Region 5 Public Citizen of the Year. And we have the plaque from both the local and regional awards here. And I was also told that she's going on later in the month to compete at the state level. So, hey.
All right, congratulations, and thank you all very much, all. All right, item number 5, Superintendent's Report.
Yes, sir. So you've all received your Head Start report, program governance. The Policy Council meeting was held on November 18th. The following items were approved. The minutes from September 2024, the director's reports for October, November, financial reports for September and October, all of 2024, and the 23-24 annual report, as well as the Policy Council shirt. Parent meetings were conducted at all sites, and parents gained valuable information on food safety and the importance of hand washing. Families worked to design and build traps that could catch turkeys for Thanksgiving with their children. And in terms of program operations, their current enrollment is 450. You've each received the school population report for November, reflecting the numbers from November 1st to November 30th. And I'd like to report our November 2024 sales tax numbers for our general fund, which show a collection of $1,018,115, or 6.9% above budget for the fifth month of the 24-25 fiscal year. Collections are $497,811, or 3.3% above collections for the same month last year. And after 5 months, collections are $2,166,573, or 2.9% above budget, and $342,340, or 0.4% below the same period last year. Hurricane information was included in your packet. Congratulations to Dr. Suresh Chiranguru, an educator from LaGrange High School. He received formal appointment from the governor to the Louisiana STEM Advisory Council, and we're proud to have Dr. Chiranguru represent CPSB on that council. Congratulations also to Mr. Andrew Busey of Sulphur High School. He was awarded the 2025 LMEA Outstanding Young Music Educator Award. This award recognizes young music educators for their outstanding impact on student learning. We also had some very big news this month. We had a Milken Award winner. And congratulations to Mr. Kyle Cook of Maplewood Maplewood Middle School. He was awarded the Milken Education Award this week. And this is one of the most prestigious awards in education. Mr. Cook is only the second Calcasieu educator ever to receive this award. We will bring him before the board at a later date to officially congratulate him. School performance scores were announced this month, and CPSB grew once again with a score of 87.5, up 1.4 points from last year. 3 schools exhibited double-digit growth: Pearl Watson, SP Arnett, and Ralph Wilson. And additionally, 7 schools grew a letter grade: Bell City, College Oaks, J.J. Johnson, LeBlanc, Benton High, Pearl Watson, and Ralph Wilson. And 6 schools scored an index over 100: T.S. Cooley, Sam Houston, Creon Lake, Barr, Westlake, and DeQuincy High. And for the first time in recent years, no schools received a score of an F. We're very proud of the work that our students do, the faculty and the staff, the work that they do, and we're proud to have that displayed. We'll give you a more detailed breakdown of the scores at a CNI meeting later. CSRS is continuing to prepare the RFP for HVAC. This month, they're meeting with service providers as well as setting up additional interviews with other service providers later in the month. They're also setting up interviews with other large school districts to be completed by the end of January to early February. This year, we've seen a rise in threats made within and to schools. This is a nationwide and statewide trend, and Calcasieu is not immune. But we do take these very seriously. We've been working in conjunction with the Calcasieu Parish Sheriff's Office and District Attorney's Office, in addition to meeting regularly to discuss safety and security in our schools. We also recently shot a public service announcement video. We'll be showing that public service announcement video to our students to publicize, as well as publicizing it on social media outlets to raise awareness of the consequences of such actions. And I emailed you a copy of this video earlier in the morning so that you can preview it. We'll be also emailed that to all of our administrators. We'll be discussing it tomorrow at the principals meeting as well. We're pleased to also announce that 3 tax renewals that were on the ballot for December 7th all passed. We're honored that the residents of Calcasieu continue to support public education in our parish, and we thank them. It was. We also like to acknowledge the hard work put in by Holly Holland and Eloise Kelly in our PIO department in getting that information out about these rules to make sure that we publicize them. This concludes the superintendent's report.
All right, thank you, Dr. Van Meter. Any questions for Dr. Van Meter? All right, item number 6, executive session on claim number 4A2207F1B8Q. All right. Moved by Mr. Roberts and seconded by Mr. Brooks. Now that we go into executive session. All right. All in favor? Any nays? All right, I need a motion to resume our meeting, all right?
So moved.
All right, it was moved by Mr. Grove and seconded by Mr. Hardesty. All right, item number 7, take action on executive session. Claim A, number 4A2207F1B8Q-003. Moved by Mr. Grove and seconded Ms. Fontaine, all in favor? Any nays? One nay. All right, item, motion carries. All right, number 8, committee reports. A&P Committee, November 18th meeting, 2024. Mr. Sean.
You like me to read? Thank you, Mr. Pichon, filling in for me. On November 18th, 2024, the Cockatoo Parish School Board Administration and Personnel Committee met. Mr. Patrick Pichon called the meeting to order, 5 o'clock, prayer and pledge, which was led by Reverend Desmond Wallace. Mr. Barentine presented revisions to the Cockatoo Parish School Board policies, qualifications for school board members, school board member continuing education, notification of school board meetings, contracts and compensation, sick leave, corporal punishment, administration of medication, behavioral health services for students, sick leave, bank, student health, and immunization. There was minor revisions to the language of these policies on a motion by Mr. Sean Baumgarten, and seconded by Mr. Castillo. Mr. recommended to approve, and also moved on behalf of the committee.
All right, coming from a committee, the motion, but all in favor, please have the committee report. Item. All right. Any names? Motion carries.
The last item presented by Mr. Barrington, that was for information only, was the fall teacher report. There being no further business to discuss on a motion by Mr. Castile, seconded by Mr. O'Banion, committee adjourned 5:47. That ends my report.
All right, item number B, item B, brother. Committee, Employee Benefits Committee, December 3rd, 2024, Mr. Brook.
All right, Cassia Parish School Board, Employee Benefits Committee met in the boardroom on Tuesday, December 3rd. Quorum was present. We had actually pretty good turnout. We said a few words about Ms. Gay's loss that she had in her new family, the two losses in her family. I just keep her in your prayers. I mean, none of us can imagine what that poor lady is going through. We had no form of action that was taken in this meeting, as it was just mid-year for information only. We had a lot of information provided by Kathy Sonnier from HUB. Current versus prior year claims were up $890,000. More spend year over year, which is less increase in 2023 year. Pharmacy trends, their prescriptions is up roughly 7.5% versus last year mid-year. RX was up 11.5%. The decision to move from Blue Cross to Blue Shield, Express Scripts. The Express Scripts, I'm having dyslexia, it's kicking in big time today, so give me a second. Yeah, I know, just my eyes are moving all over the place. Let me start this. Pharmacy trend, prescription is up 7.5% versus last year mid-year. Prescriptions are up 11.5%. The decision to move from Blue Cross to Blue Shield, Express Scripts to Express Scripts contract with Crumdale, that 2024 renewal is showing savings. July the 1st, savings on the program was introduced to the members for their specialty meds, which is also showing savings. The plan paid per member per month year to date was $309.23, which is an estimated plan paid per member per month after rebates being $198.50. Generic dispense rate is currently at 87%, which is 1% improvement. Large claim analysis over $250,000 by number. The claimant is currently 5 members. Migration is still showing a movement to a higher plan deductible. Mr. Bergeron shared some options as a result of exploring a clinic approach for primary care doctor visits. He met with the police jury to discuss feasibility of partnering with them in their existing clinic. Limitations are that they are massive physical limitations of serving the Calhoun Parish School Board. Urgent care format, Lake Charles urgent care, positive points, multiple occasions, hours of operations, broadness of care. Limitations is the lack of primary care physicians in hospital clinic. We'll begin an RFP process to filter those to see which ones would fit the system best. Discussion had amongst the committee members regarding improvement ways to educate the staff, health benefits, health savings accounts, wellness programs, etc. It was decided that videos would be created to share with the staff that, later. The wellness program had a new pilot, on-site wellness initiative at Sulphur High and CTE. Hands-on and peer-focused programs, wellness lead, at each location, cheering peers, tracking measures in place, etc. Goal is to increase overall participation in the location levels and departments, which ultimately brings the awareness to a healthier lifestyle, which actually helps us all out. Credits for participating in this. Credits participants receive 5% premium discount after earning 8 points. Our next scheduled meeting that we're gonna have is for that, which will bring up part of our renewal, is gonna be on February the 25th. Summary, pretty much all of this is claims are increasing, but at a moderate level as compared to last year, mid-year. Changes in the pharmacy benefit manager is bringing additional rebates and savings per member per month. I said this was just for information only mid-year update, so that wasn't any motion to be taken. Jane and staff, we get y'all, there's a lot of work that they're doing behind the scenes to communicate with our employees that we have to kind of help them out. There's a lot of proactive things that they're going to start to do, a lot of these videos and all that, which is going to actually help our employees understand their benefits a little bit better, to make them more informed, help them make better decisions in the long run. So y'all support a lot of work being done. I want the board to recognize what y'all are doing, so kudos on all that. That being said, a motion was made to adjourn, and it was so moved. So that concludes my report.
All right, thank you, Mr. Brewer. Any questions or comments on that report? All right. All right. Moving on to number 9, take appropriate action. A, approval of teacher salary reformatting proposal.
So moved.
Yes, sir.
We need to move.
Need a motion for item number 8.
So moved.
And a second? All right, second. Moved by Mr. Brewer, seconded by Ms. Fonto. Item number 8, appropriate action. Thank you.
Yes, sir. The current teacher salary schedule is very complex and very difficult to understand. After meeting with Leapfrog, they can assist with reformatting the teacher salary schedule to make it less confusing and compress the number of steps. Right now, we have a lot of steps. After this is completed, the staff will bring back the salary schedule to the board for approval prior to the implementation so that we can have it in place for next year. So staff recommends utilizing Leapfrog to reformat the teacher salary schedule.
So, all right. We already have a motion on it. Any questions? All right. All in favor of item number 8? Aye. Any nays? All right. Motion carries on 9A. All right. B, the approval of Head Start Annual Report 2023-24. Need a motion and a second.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Baumgarten, seconded by Mr. Bishop. All right.
So yeah, this is the Head Start report from last year. It's included in your packet. So you have all the information there, but this is for the 23-24 school year. So,
All right, that's it. Okay. All right. Any questions? 9B. All right. All in favor? Aye. All right. Any nays? All right. Motion carries. C, approval of Head Start grant application for carryover funds. So moved. All right, moved by Ms. Hartsey, second by Ms. Hardy McReynolds. All right, Dr. Van.
yes, sir. So this is a $4.7 million Head Start grant. You've got the information in your packet, but this is for Head Start. So we serve 450 kids. You can report every month in the superintendent's report.
Any questions? All right, all in favor? Aye. Any nays? All right. Letter D, approval of contract renewal for Solutions EAP, 3-year contract. Motion. Moved by Mr. Castile, seconded by Mr. O'Banion. Any?
So this is Solutions EAP. Our employees utilize this, and we have, in need of services and counseling. It's a great program. This would extend for 3 more years, and our employees use this daily in terms of being able to have services for, especially for mental health.
All right. Any questions from the board? All in favor? Any nays? Nay? No nays, motion carries. F. Or E, excuse me, E, approval of 2025 board committee meeting calendar. Move. All right, moved by Mr. Hartson, second by Dr. Washington. All right, Dr. Van Meter.
Yes, sir. So we have the proposed board dates as well as committee dates for 2025 in front of you. So we have to have those approved tonight so we can start moving forward and preparing for 2025.
Any questions from the board? All right, Ms. Hale?
Can we make sure one of the committees addresses long-range planning?
Yes, ma'am. These are just the dates. We can get one of those if we need. Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions? All right. All in favor of approval of 2025 board committee meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? All right, motion carries. F, election of school board 2025 officers.
What are we doing first, president? I'd like to nominate, Mr. Desmond Wallace for president.
Second.
All in favor? I do accept. Any more? Okay. Let's move right into it. It's kind of awkward being the one. Are there any other nominations on the floor? No. All right, all in favor of Wallace being the next president for 2025? Say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? All right, madam. All right, vice president, any nominations? Mr. Aaron Natale. Any other nominations? Moved and seconded, Mr. Aaron Natale. Any other nominations from the board for vice president? All right, all in favor, Mr. Aaron Natale, 2025 vice president, say aye. Aye. All right, any nays? All right, motion carries. All right, thank you all very much. All right, G. Any speeches? Resolution establishing a capital improvement fund. G was moved by Mr. Roberts and seconded by, Mr. Natale. All right, Dr. Van Meter, is there any comments, anything that?
This is a resolution to basically establish a capital improvement fund and gives a breakdown to use excess funds that come in. 40% would go towards salaries, which voters have already dedicated that. 40% goes towards to establish a capital improvement fund so that we would have money in that fund in order to do different projects. 10% in the general fund, and then 10% reserved for future hurricane costs as well as debt payment that we currently incurred. I would imagine it would be Mr. Roberts that would speak to this as well, but I am in full support of having a plan to spend money, and I love the fact that we've got a plan here in terms of a breakdown to spend any future monies that we have coming in above the budgeted amounts. And so having something in place that lays out where those percentages are, I like it. I'm in favor of it. Mr. Roberts. I say Mr. Roberts. He was the one who brought it up.
We do have some. Here, Mr. Bro, Ms. O'Leary.
Thank you.
Oh, you said, okay, my apologies. Okay, go ahead, my apologies.
It's pretty simple. It's a 1 or 2 page resolution that something we probably should have done a while back. Actually, we talked about doing this after the Sasol project and then the hurricane hit. But instead of when these revenues come in on these big projects, deciding what to do afterwards, to be proactive. It's no secret there's projects out there, we don't know the timing. What pretty much stirred this again in my gut was being at the Trailblazer in October, the School Board Association, to get my hours. There were 3 different speakers and all of them spoke about Calcasieu Parish. Yes, education wise, but also for the economic impacts that are coming to this parish and the potential that we have, and I'm not going to say jealousy, but the envy maybe of the other parishes on our ability to raise money. So as a taxpayer, I like having a plan. As an elected official, I like showing the voters, the taxpayers, our residents, our teachers, how we're going to spend this money proactively before it gets here, so we don't have to sit up here and decide. For the new law, we approved ITEPs as a board. At times, we'll catch a lot of flack for that. I can promise you this, there's some parishes over there would love to have the opportunity to approve some ITEPs because of what comes. And I'm not talking about property taxes, I'm talking about sales tax revenues, and that's what this targets. I hope the board will get behind this. Mr. Tarver couldn't come tonight. I just got some updates, had a family emergency today. I don't know if y'all are aware of that, but he and I have been working on this for a while. We've been thinking about it, but it's something we just thought it was, in light of the election we had last Saturday, on our sales tax extensions in our villages, that we move this forward. These are going to be tangible projects that we can show the voters, our staff, that, again, for capital improvements, using one-time revenues that we should not budget on annually, because of these big mega projects that bring in this money, that we can say, okay, we may have passed an ITEP, or, we got all this construction, we got all this traffic, we got all this industry. We're an industrial town, I welcome it. But here's something that we did with it. I can tell you for the Sasol project, the $50 million project we did, I can go to St. John and point to a $1.5 million gymnatorium that has benefited that school immensely. I can walk around Barb and show you some things that were done, every school here. So again, it's not to replace a bond proposition. This is to be in the interim. We're working on a bond right now, and we hope to have it out this fall, but this will not replace this. This is something to go to the taxpayers and say, look, we're being proactive. We've identified where the funds are going. You have to deal with the industry and the construction, and we're going to use other people's money to benefit our school system. And so that's the goal. If you read the resolution, it distributes the funds just like the 50 million plan did. We just have to work out how we're going to identify the revenues. And it seems to be, I wanted to tie it to ITEP projects. There seems to be an issue legally with getting that sales tax money from the sales tax office directly, that belongs to the actual, that's private information for those entities. So Mr. Bourne put together, he must have worked all night on it, a spreadsheet of another proposal. We didn't think that it was time to put this together with this right now, because we're still looking at the other angle as well. But we're going to get there. As far as the funding of it, and it's something that everyone's going to be comfortable with. I don't want to do anything that staff not comfortable with doing. So anyway, I would hope the board would support this. Again, a proactive measure. It's pretty simple. It helps us save for hurricanes in the future or pay off some of that debt. And again, we're showing the taxpayers, hey, when you ask us where all that money go, here we're going to be able to show you. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts. And being that Mr. Natale is second, and he'll go, and then Mr. Bro will be thereafter.
I like the idea of using the increased industrial construction projects. I think that's like Mr. Roberts said, that's what we did a few years ago, and it paid dividends for, the communities that I represent, especially those smaller communities that don't have a lot of bonding capacity. That being said, it's transparent. I like it. I think Mr. Roberts said pretty much all that needs to be said.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Bro, and then Mr. O'Banion.
Is it true that we're gonna end up getting a lot of money off these projects coming up? Yes. We've got to be extremely fiscal with what we're gonna do with this. Spending on one-time capital outlays is good. I think we need to prioritize, just like in real life, you wanna manage your own budgets. If you get any extra money, you pay off debts. What's the balance on our hurricane loans that we have?
I'll tell you right now, $123 million.
So my point is, that's what we owe. We get any additional funds before we start putting in capital projects, we pay that off first. There's nothing like being debt free. The reason why we've always been able to move along and not have to wait on insurance and not have to wait on the government to do a lot of things, because we've always had cash on hand to be able to do that. A few years back, the board decided to take $50 million out of the general funds to be able to go do that. So that's $50 million that we may have been able to reduce what we've had before being able to do. But since we did that, we didn't have that money there. There were a lot of districts that didn't touch or didn't use any of their $50 million funds. A lot of the other ones did. I'm just concerned that this is going to turn into, basically, since we can't pass a bond, we're going to use these monies to do this, and it's going to turn into look like it's parish-wide bonding, and then you want to see all hell break loose. Let that come about. We have districts that are out there that if they max themselves out on their villages, they couldn't afford to buy basketballs. I mean, there's a lot of different things that we can end up doing with this a little bit better, but I think we use it to, I'm not going to support it because of what I think is going to end up going. It's like we had a few years back, the board decided, the board before this one, they got on, actually the board before, whichever ones that came in, that they came in and took money out of the general funds that we had extra money, went in and paid off, and redid all of the tracks on this side of the river, but the ones on the other side that had paid money out of their bonds to be able to do that, decided not to give any money back to be able to do that. I just look at this, we need to pay off our loans first, because if we get, these storms, if you look, being in the insurance world, these storms come in 20-year cycles. We're about 10 years into this, which means we've got about 5 more years of this. If we get another couple of years like we've had before, and we start dumping another 110, 100, in years in a row, we're going to be in debt up to our eyeballs. We're not going to be able to afford to do hardly anything. I think we use it to pay off our debts. Then we come back in and look at the smaller districts that actually need the additional help, like Bell City, like Benton and Starks, a lot of those areas that are like that need a lot of money, that can't afford to do it, that even, like I said, even if they max themselves out on village, wouldn't have enough money to be able to do that. But we've got to be able to make sure that if God forbid we get hit again 2 years in a row, that we have the ability to be able to do things, that we can make payroll. You gotta understand, a lot of districts out there, these storms hit, they can't make payroll. We're fortunate in the fact that we budgeted to be able to do that over the years, and we got lucky. We're able to, our credit standings and the tax revenues that we're able to pass, we're able to get loans to be able to do that. A lot of districts can't. I just, like I said, I'm going to stop on that, but for those reasons, I'm not going to support this. I just think it's going to end up being a problem in the long run. So I'll stop on that.
All right, Mr. O'Banion, and then Mr. Castillo.
All right. I am in support of this. I had a concern that was brought up to me earlier. The 40% salaries, I just wanted to clarify, has been by Dr. Van Meter, Mr. Bourne, that is the 1 cent sales tax, and 100% of that, I mean, it legally has to, but we
That's
just want to
correct.
clarify that is going to salaries and benefits.
That's correct.
It's not 40%.
It's not 40% of what was just passed, that is
Right.
correct.
I just wanted to clarify that. And the debt that we all know we have, some of that will be reimbursed by FEMA, but, you know, some of this, the 10% general fund, you know, doing the hurricane cost share, that's gonna help alleviate some of that too.
Mr. Cassidy?
So Mr. Roberts said that, I like the fact that if we're gonna do this, it's gonna be shared amongst, like it was on 50 million. The first question is, before we start doing this, I still have some of the $50 million available to me, so I need to know how to get that before we start for the minutes. Okay? I wanna be able to do some projects before we get into this here, so, the next thing would be, and we may have done something on that, but we were gonna do $5 million a year. I don't know if that started yet, but, it hasn't. We did 5 last year, we do 5 again this year. Okay. If we're doing that, then I'm good with that. So we don't really know what's gonna happen at the end of, what is it, when is this gonna go into effect? June 30th, so we don't know how much money's gonna be there. So it'd be $100, or it'd be about, $5 million.
Well, I think that's
right. No, I mean, in actuality, we don't know what it's gonna be. It depends on when some of these projects happen. I mean, if a project does start for another year and a half, essentially the funding is just going to fund it. Okay. So it's just there for those times when, you know, a project does happen, it can happen to anyone that plans at any time they build it. Whenever they decide to start doing it, that's when this activity starts taking place. Okay. So, how do we determine the increased economic activity and what goes into the fund? I understand the person, and we're still kind of debating that right now, about how to figure that out, what's the proper way to fund this thing. We do have a couple of legal issues that we're looking into to figure out, you know, to be able to invite some revenue. The idea was to, for those, the ITEPs, or the entities that were granted the ITEPs, the sales tax that was created for the construction of that project, if it happens, is to isolate that, and that's what we're going to divide up into this fund. The issue became legally with how to identify that, right? So we kind of put that table aside to figure out what to do with that. When we create the fund, come back with a different resolution in a second, who's wrong with this one, and we kind of sort that out. We just need to create the fund first, and then we'll figure out some kind of way to, how we're gonna make the revenue go into there first, but to identify. Okay. Still be determined. Okay. Can it be named, something else besides capital improvement fund? Just for the simple reason, you have a number B that says capital improvement fund. Y'all can call it whatever you want. You know, does it work the same than if maybe, when you say capital improvement fund, are we talking about capital improvement, or what are we talking about? You know, so I don't know if there could be a name change, but I hope y'all understand what I'm trying to say. If you say capital improvement fund, then everybody thinks it's going to capital improvements, which in this case it's not. So, because we have a B capital improvement fund that's going to be established within another fund, correct? No, this is going to be a separate fund for 50/80. So you're going to have you're going to have this one separately. And I think the idea was from capital improvement standpoint, to use strictly for capital improvement fund as typically defined. The 50/80 fund is a wider definition of things that you can use for, not just capital improvement, all of that. Part of the major source of that time. So again, going to go back to the bill logger, basically. I have no problem with it. I'm gonna vote yes, but I don't. The concern that I have is, so we're going to develop this fund and approve the fund, but we don't know what's going to be in the fund at this time. That's correct. Or how to determine what's going to be in the fund. That's the only hang up that I have. And then, so, okay, so is it gonna be based on ITEP projects?
Well, the thought was,
So the whole basis was to,
Around two, around.
I know, but I'm
Yeah,
answering.
you answer the question.
Yeah, I suppose I would explain. You can, go ahead.
I answer the question also.
Either way.
The ITAP is property tax based, okay? The ITAPs are granted for an exemption of property tax.
Correct.
That is not what they're trying to capture here.
That's
What
right.
they're trying to capture is if you grant an ITAP to a company and they build that project, let's just say it's $100 million project, there is a component of that in the evaluations that I get to everybody, you know, calculate how much sales tax effect is going to take place if that project comes into existence. Trying to capture that piece of information right there. What is the sales tax that is going to get created if the project in fact is built? And so it's taking those sales tax dollars, isolating that, putting 40% of that money. 40% is going to be dedicated automatically to the half cent sales tax. There's no getting around that, that's what it is. The rest of it basically is not dedicated to anything. And so what the idea was is to create a dedication of 40% to put into this. But it is sales tax dollars only, it is not property tax.
Sure. Well, no, I mean, it is an ITEP.
I think it's an identification.
It's not gonna be like, we're $500,000 over budget, so we're gonna put $500,000 to this account.
No,
Or whatever, yeah, no, okay. I'm just trying
I'm
to
making a fair answer to your question, but no.
We have the source, I understand the source, it's just to determine the economic activity, I don't understand. Other than when they start building and we get all this money like we did with Sasol, I do understand that part of it, but what are we, how do we identify the
Historically,
economic activity?
I look at what we had done historically back before Sasol started, and in the year that the Sasol project started, we collected about $93 million worth of sales tax that year. By the time it got said and done with 4 or 5 years later, we were collecting $200 million. Okay, and then it kind of fell off after that because they had completed their project and all the economic activity surrounding that had kind of fallen off. And we went down to like $150 million the following year. Then the hurricane hit, the pandemic, and kind of messed everything up after that. So, but there was a significant amount of increase in the time of the construction. Like I said, it went from about $93 million to $200 million. But it was just during that time period. And so, in the future, same things could happen.
So if Driftwood kicks off, we know that's an ITEP project,
Yes,
and we know that that's extra funds coming in.
yes.
So we're gonna try to capitalize with base fee and sales tax. And with that capital, we're gonna try to capitalize on that additional sales tax they're spending for this fund.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
Appreciate it.
Good. Dr. Washington and then Mr. Hardesty.
We're talking about two different funds, the $50 million fund and the capital improvement fund. Right now, we don't have much money in the $50 million fund, or we do.
We had just a little bit, but we're fixing to put $5 million more into it. But initially, we only funded $30 million into it. With this, we put $5 million more in last year, and we're fixing to put another $5 million in. I'll do that January.
Because I know we've asked for several things.
Yeah. This will add some money into the pot so that more can be spent out.
So, in terms of the capital improvement fund, as far as accountability, how will we know what's in there, where it comes from, where it's being spent? Will we get a monthly accounting or as one
In the resolution, it kind of explains that, but basically, and it's also a requirement that's put into the resolution to have that fund specifically audited by our internal auditing department, basically, to audit the revenue that went into it, that is done properly, and also the money that's being spent out of the project. The projects themselves have to be recommended by the board members who represent that particular district. And so, to be approved by the entire board. So that's how the money is spent out of it. It's going to take place up here.
So I just want to be clear about some concerns, because what may be important to one area may not be so important to another. How are we going develop a consensus about what's been where?
Well, in similar fashion to the 50 million fund, where it was divided up by the populations in each bonding district, the student population in each bonding district, this is going to be divided up in a similar manner based on the previous, the just preceding MFP count, which we do twice a year. So basically, so if something happens during that time period, we do the allocation based on the, I guess you could say, the current MFP calculation. And the money goes into the pots for each one of the bonding districts. So you spend on the schools within that bonding district.
So Mr. Moore, if I have a major project, just say we have a sewage backup at one of our schools, and it entails millions of dollars, and we don't have to be there for that, how will we get that funding if not even have to improve it? I know we have other projects, but I'm just saying, what is?
Well, I'd say we probably have to cross that bridge when we get to it, if we get to it. But this fund, as this resolution sets it up, basically divides that fund within 11 pots for each one of the bonding districts. And so it is to be spent within those districts, just like the 50 million. So if you want to do some of the way besides that, I'd say you have to sit the rest of the board. See if they would agree.
Mr. Hardesty.
Okay, so I know we're saying that we're gonna, but I would like to make an amendment that we put it per student, the way it's divided per student. So I would like to amend this motion that we do it per student is the way the money would be divided up, just like we did the 50 million.
I think that's already in the resolution.
Is it in there? Okay.
There's already a clause in it.
Yep. Okay, good.
All right, any others in the first round? All right, second round, will Mr. Roberts.
Okay, just to clarify a few things. Mr. Foreman, correct me if I'm wrong, when we met the other day, so when all said and done, when FEMA's finished reimbursing us, we're gonna have about how much debt?
It's going to be probably in the neighborhood of $30 million or so. It's a little, right now, it's just kind of fluid, but I mean, that's what we're looking at.
And so those reimbursements will come in over the next year or so.
I would hope so, but I'm not hopeful about it, just put it that way.
So I just wanted.
No, it's going to take a little bit longer.
Yeah, but it's coming to us.
Yeah, that's correct.
So,
In the end, our cost share on the hurricane should be in the neighborhood of $30 million.
so just to clarify what was said earlier, we're not gonna owe $130 million that we need to pay back from the hurricane.
That's correct.
Okay, so this fund addresses that with, and that was a request actually by the staff to put the 10% in there for the hurricane. Again, being prepared, looking forward, that's the whole intent here. There's no way, and it's not, we should not try to look into the future and try to guess on hurricanes. We live where we live. We cannot insure ourselves for $1 billion of infrastructure we have. We can't insure ourselves for $400 million worth of damage we just had. That's what FEMA's for. And much as you hate or like FEMA, whatever, that's what they're there for. We insure ourselves for what we need. And outside of that, we're doing something that we've never done before. We're gonna put 10% of this money up to help pay off that 30, 40 million and then start building for the future. So actually, we're moving in the right direction there. I just want to clarify, we're not paying off $130 million worth of debt. They're not gonna reimburse us. The 50 million is completely separate. The only reference to that was just because how we did it by student count, and the bonding districts are gonna pick their projects. You're gonna work with your schools when something comes up. Again, there's no way even in a bond, you can capture everything in between bonds. So this gives you an opportunity to go do the little $50,000, $100,000 projects, repair your HVAC, resurface your track, whatever it is. That's for your decision as a bonding district, as board members. I don't believe this board or future boards is gonna sit here and say, no, you can't do that. The 50 million was going just fine until 2020. So, it's gonna be within your control, but as a balance and as, it still needs to come before the board. So, just to have a little integrity to the public and the taxpayers. But you will select those projects, that's the intent. And then lastly, and not just number 3, that's what number 3 was, a question about that, who's gonna come with the projects. I think that's all I have.
Mr. Brogan?
One-time project, I understand that, that's also why we have the riverboat funds. And what's the balance on the riverboat fund again, remind me, with the negative in front of it?
No, we got a little bit of money ready, but I look at it later, but it's probably something in there, $1 million.
Yeah, so I mean, we have multiple funding sources for all of this. So my question is, and it's gonna pass, I'm gonna vote against it, but so if we're gonna take 40% of this and apply this to salary and benefits, what's the payout on that? We're gonna do these payouts as supplements, or are we gonna roll it into the salary schedules?
Well, those particular, that's the dedicated sales taxes, that goes to salary and benefits, so largely it'll do exactly what we're doing right now. If we had an increase and more money goes into that, so if you build that fund, just like they do now.
So it'll come out of supplements.
If we can change anything that we were doing right now in this minute, yes. I mean, basically, if we made no changes to the salary schedule, and.
Well, we're gonna change.
All of a sudden, if they boost, basically, you have extra money going into those funds, and you could possibly be a much bigger sum.
Well, that's what I'm asking, it would be better off doing it as a supplement, because if we add that into the base pay, and when those projects come to the end, then we got major problems.
No argument there.
I wanna make sure everybody
But
understands.
the thing is that even if you have an increase in the sales taxes, because those are dedicated, they have to go into those funds. What we're talking about is another part of the function, not it.
Yes, okay.
All right, Mr. O'Banion. You're good, okay, I didn't see you. All right, I think that's it. Any other questions or comments? All right. All right, all in favor of G, say aye. Aye. Any nays? All right, 1 nay. Motion carries, ayes have it. All right, item number 10, permission to advertise none. 11, bid reports for ratification. A, hurricane repairs, highway high, batting cages, under construction, needing $249,500. All right, it was, motion by Mr. Kelly and seconded by Mr. Castillo. All in favor? Or any questions, brother? Any questions or comments? First, all right, all in favor? Aye. Any nays? Motion carries. Ayes have it. All right, 12, none, bid reports. 13, correspondence, none. And we'll stop at 14 because I believe that Ms. Henry is here, our recipient, a little earlier. And that if you go back to 4 presentations, 4B.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Again, on the call, Ms. Amaya Henry, our JAG State Ambassador, who's a student at Sulphur High School, who represented us at the National Student Leadership Academy in Washington, D.C. last week. For that prestigious honor. She's an amazing student. Can't say enough things about her, but I'm going to give her this manuscript that we wrote for her, and we're going to present her with a Student Ambassador Award and a lapel pin that she can put on that nice jacket and walk around and be proud as we are of her. So congratulations.
Right, I think that's it. Congratulations again to you. All right, condolences and recognition. I'm sorry, all right, Ms. Ayo.
I have a couple, I have a teacher at Benton Elementary who lost her mother-in-law, Lydia Perez, and a Vincent Settlement teacher, Jennifer Cormier, also lost her mother-in-law, Celta Cormier. And then I have some letters of recognition. I have 4 teachers at Benton Middle School, which is a very small school, that collected over 2,000 non-perishable goods and received a letter from the Louisiana Department of Ed, Dr. Brummery, recognizing Carrie Newhouse, Xavier Delacroix, and Ms. Gilbert, and also Val Ricketts. And they got a letter, and I'm so proud of them.
I know Dr. Van Meter already recognized Kyle Cook. I'd like to send him a letter too. It was a pretty impressive ceremony, and I know he was impressed with the cash award for sure.
Yes, sir. And like I said, we'll bring him before y'all at a later date. So,
I'd like to send a letter of condolences to Ms. Glenda Gay for her husband and also her daughter, and I'm sure it's for the whole board.
yes, ma'am.
And I want to tell everybody, thank you. We sent a plant, actually gave them a monetary donation and also a sandwich tray, which they approved by the whole board. I want to tell everybody, thank you.
And we've actually already sent a letter on behalf of the board.
Mr. Brook.
I want to congratulate Mr. Foster's department. Because, normally when you hear audits coming in, everybody's freaking out and all that. But I've had a person at school that came out and said that was the most helpful thing that they've ever gone through. And it was she's basically a reflective experience. Y'all done that before since she's out there, so kudos.
Mr. Vitale.
I would like to send a letter of condolences. I think it was on the death of my daughter.
And please add me to that one. I had that down.
Please add me. Add me also.
All right, Mr. Hardesty. All right, Mr. Baumgart, Mr. Bishon. All right. All right, item number 15, scheduled committee meetings. Budget committee is January 18, 2025 at 5 p.m. And CNI committee will fall after that. Number 16, I need a motion to adjourn. I see all kinds of. Second. All in favor? All right, ayes have it.